And yet again, the country is here to also witness a very momentous, significant occasion, the swearing in of President-elect Edgar Lungu. But as you say, there have been a lot of arrivals. We're continuing to see representatives from different countries, foreign heads of state. A lot have arrived. We do know that His Honor, the acting president, Dr. Guy Scott, has also arrived, and he is standing by to receive President-elect Edgar Lungu, as he should be arriving any moment soon.
I'll talk about arrivals. Chitale earlier on, we also did receive, the arrival of, service chiefs. They made it their way through into the, National Heroes Stadium in Lusaka for this very, special occasion. And as far as Zambia's calendar is concerned, so it is looking really interesting as far as the crowds are concerned. Remember that this stadium can seat a larger, capacity in terms of numbers of people that can make it into, this particular arena. So we're still expecting that. There will be a lot of people to fill up the terraces of this particular venue. So we still expect that a lot of people will still make their way into the Heroes Stadium in Lusaka for this special occasion.
Right, and so just now we do urge our viewers to stay locked to TV1 to witness this very momentous occasion, as we do know that this day will go down in the history books of Zambia as having ushered in the 6th Republican president in the name of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. So do keep tuned into ZNBC TV1 as we bring you events as they unfold from here, the National Heroes Stadium.
We still continue to await the arrivals of the heads of state and government and the representatives.
So as you can see from the pictures there, that's First Republican President Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, and scores of residents that have made their way into the National Hero Stadium in Lusaka for the inauguration ceremony for President Edgar Lungu, who was declared winner in the Tuesday 20th of January presidential elections. Now, this particular occasion is very much open to the general public, so members of the public, those wishing or willing to find their way into the Heroes Stadium, can still make it to come and witness this very special occasion in the Zambian calendar, as the Zambian people, Chitalu, will be putting into office their 60th president.
That's right, and what you're able to see on television is the activity that is taking place here at the Heroes Stadium. The mood is extremely electric, I must say, and the citizens of Zambia, those that have been able to make way to the Heroes Stadium, are in high spirits. And also, just to re-emphasize, as my colleague Jason has put it, this is an event that is open to the public. People are able to walk in and actually witness what is happening here today. Of course, they need to be part of the process, Jason. I mean, if they were there to put in that special vote for Mr. Lungu, definitely the doors are wide open for them to be able to witness him being ushered into office here at the Hero Stadium. And also, just a reminder to our viewers that Mr. Lungu was declared winner of the January 20 presidential election after beating 10 other contenders who were in the race to State House. And as we have been hearing all over, it was a tightly contested race. But at the end of the day, someone has to emerge winner. And it so happens that this man, by the name of Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, a lawyer by profession, who has served Zambia in many portfolios, among them that of Defense and Justice Minister, and also PF Secretary General, is the man that stole the moment.
Now, talk about it. It's also good to sports MMD President Nevas Mumba, amongst those in the VIP tent. Just to come and witness, the very special occasion in which Zambia puts into place, 60th, president. Also, the president-elect Guy Scott. He's been around the scene for quite some time as far as Zambian politics is concerned, and you can see that there is really jubilation in the camp. And prior to this particular day, you could note that there was a lot of debate really in as far as who was going to represent the party, to stand for the party in the PF ticket. But finally they decided to settle for Edgar Lungu. And I'm sure those celebrations there, just among some PF staunch supporters, showing how grateful, how happy they are to have seen their party put through in the Tuesday 20th presidential election. So 11 candidates in total. It was amazing to also note that Edith Nawakwi, the only female presidential aspirant in that particular list of the presidential hopefuls. Then she made up, and if you look at how the results look like, she really made an impact as far as the outcome of this election.
Absolutely. It's all really about putting in your best and always hoping for the best. But like we say, at the end of the day, it is only a one man's place. And so, as you can see, people are still trooping in in order to be a part of this event here at the Hero Stadium today. It looks like a lot of people really wants to be a part of what is happening here today. And I must say, Jason, I recall on the day that Zambia went to the polls on the 20th of January, the man who's being put into office today, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, just after he cast his vote. I remember him being approached by journalists, and they were asking him how he felt, the electoral process would go, and what were the chances for the Patriotic Front. And he very calmly responded and said three things. He said, number one, he felt that the Patriotic Front as a party had put up a good campaign, considering the amount of time that was at hand. Number two, he paid tribute to President Rupiah Banda and thanked him in advance, of the fact that the MMD were going to give the PF votes on a silver platter. And number three, and very importantly, and I quote, he said, "I am the new kid on the block." End of quote. Those were the words of Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. He did call himself the new kid on the block, and indeed today all eyes are on this man, Mr. Lungu, who is the man of the moment, and we are yet to witness in a short while him taking up this very, very important office.
Now, talk about, members of the public, those that are still back home, and you feel that you can have ample time to find your way into the National Hero Stadium. Yes, you are very much allowed to come and be part of this, occasion. As you can see already, amongst those that have made it, they are really in that celebratory, mood. They are still ensuring that they offer the support way through until this particular ceremony is over. But yet again, Chitalo, it's very interesting to look at the fact that 2015, hadn't things gone this way, 2015 was going to be a campaigning year ahead of the 2016 general elections. And if you look at how the voting pattern has been, it still leaves a lot of stakeholders, as far as the electoral process is concerned, with a lot of work when it comes to voter education and the registration of voters in general, just to curb what has seemed like voter apathy in this year's election.
Absolutely. Whilst for some people they might think, it's all over now, actually the work starts now, because like you say, any moment now, the country will be going back to the polls in about 20 months plus or minus. The country will be going back to the polls. Of course, there is Acting President Guy Scott and his lovely wife, Dr. Charlotte Scott, also Foreign Affairs Minister Harry Kalava. And you can see they are really enjoying the moment. At least they seem to be equally in a festive mood. And so back to what we were discussing, Jason, the work actually does start now. Zambia does still go back to the polls come 2016, as per the Constitution. The only reason that Zambia went to the polls on 20th January was obviously following the demise of a sitting president in the name of President Michael Chilufesata. And the Constitution does state that 3 months thereon an election has to take place. And so the process continues. Of course, issues of, voter education to ensure that the next polls, people will be more, more responsive. We did notice issues of, reduced numbers in as far as people actually getting to the polls. But those are some things that were addressed even, during this whole period of vote count with the Electoral Commission of Zambia. They did state that they will ensure that they intensify the process of voter education.
Well, it's a mammoth task ahead of the Electoral Commission of Zambia, and indeed to the many Zambians that will be taking part in the electoral process come 2016. But for now, it is Edgar Lungu to be sworn in as Zambia's 60th president in a presidential election that was tightly contested among 11 candidates. And it is also, just very important to note that the democratic principles, the democracy that Zambia continues to exhibit in the in Southern Africa and the whole continent or the whole world as a whole. Zambia's democracy tenets and principles continue to grow in as far as elections are concerned, because most of the presidents from various political parties have really seemingly recognized that Edgar Lungu is president for now, and they will have to wait, for 18 months or so to see if they get a chance also to be part of the line of presidents that have taken care of this country. So Zambia's peace and it's continuously being an example in the continent, going forward.
That's right. I think Zambia as a country has done extremely well in ensuring that it remains an example, not only on the continent, but also in countries far and wide. I think the peace and the unity that Zambia enjoys is something that really cannot be taken away from the country, and it's something that Zambia prides itself with. I mean, Zambia has had peaceful transitions from the time that the late President Chagwa took over from President Kenneth Kaunda. That was a peaceful transition, and we saw that also when the late President Michael Sata took over from President Rupia Banda, another peaceful transition. And there may have been pockets of human anxiety and human reactions, particularly during this particular election. However, the general picture is that Zambia is a country that upholds and respects the fact that it has peaceful citizens, and this is something that the country has to carry forward as we go along.
Just also make a reminder to the general public, for those of you that are nearby and would love to be a part of this, auspicious occasion at the National Heroes Stadium, you can make your way to the National Heroes Stadium and be part of the inauguration ceremony that is currently underway as we continue receiving, foreign heads of states and government making their way into the Heroes Stadium. And very shortly, we are being told that we're also expecting the Chief Justice, Supreme Court judges, and also later the arrival of Edgar Lungu, who is bound to be sworn in as Zambia's 60th president. And also, it's good to note that Zambians have continued to observe peace and order throughout the 90 days. First, probably start off with the national mourning period. It was about 21 or so days of national mourning, and off that one, the campaigns were kicked off by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, and there were campaigns all over the country, and Zambians continued to, observe peace and order, and I mean, it's continued way through, and we expect that this will be the story that Zambia will continue to tell and reflect to the rest of African countries in Africa, and talk about it. Zambia's fourth Republican president, that's former President Rupia Banda, arriving also here to be a part of this special occasion. He's known to be a very humorous man also, and I wish I could hear what he's saying at the moment.
There we are.
That's right. He is going to be extremely humorous, and over the last a few weeks, we did see him working very closely with Mr. Edgar Lungu, and so I'm sure he must be a very happy man, particularly that he did do a great deal of movement around the country with Mr. Edgar Lungu during the campaign period. And so what you're seeing is the turnout of members of the public who want to ensure that they are part or they are witness to what is happening here at the National Heroes Stadium today, a day that will go down in the pages of history of Zambia as a day when the 6th president of the Republic of Zambia was sworn in. And so we await this very exciting, very momentous moment. I know people are extremely eager. And the excitement started from, the very moment that, guests started arriving here. I think you've just got to love Zambians. I mean, Zambians are always in high spirits. When they love something, they just express it. They don't know how to do it any other way. And so for that, I think the Zambian people must be commended. And this is the kind of spirit that obviously the incoming government wants to ensure that they drive forward, because it is only when people are happy, people are in high spirits, people are peaceful and people are united, that it will also work out for the good of the country.
Wow, talk about what lies ahead for Edgar Lungu being Zambia's 60th president. There's a lot of issues that he will need to address in the shortest possible time. Obviously, Zambia is one of those countries in Africa that is still struggling to gain its or attain its full potential as far as growth is concerned. So there's a lot of expectations, and that's Justice Irene Mambilima.
The Iron Lady.
The Iron Lady is, fondly called now amongst many Zambians for her strong stance. And, well, it's good to also see her here. I mean, she's been part of the process, and we're happy to see her here. And I'm sure that you could see the jubilation, amongst many of those that have made their way into the Heroes Stadium. But I was on the path of saying that Zambia is like any other African country that still needs to attain that economic growth, that economic independence, and also address most of the challenges that the country is grappling with. That was the mayor of Lusaka, and at some point he was also vying to stand for the PF ticket, and things did not. And that's the two former first ladies, and Dr. Christine Kaseba and Vera Chiluba, all in attendance to mark a very special occasion. And also talking about one of those people that wanted to be on the ticket, one of those people that wanted to stand on the PF ticket, and eventually they all settled for Edgar Chagwa Lungu, was delivered on the PF ticket. Yet again, it's a mammoth task ahead of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. If you look at Zambia's economic status at the moment, and expectations obviously from the many Zambians that cast their votes in favor of Edgar Lungu, and also the opposition, obviously they'll be looking at everything critical to see to it that most of those election promises are delivered, and that's pretty much what a lot of Zambians will be looking forward to, as he assumes the highest, job in the country.
And speaking about election promises, Jason, Mr. Edgar Lungu's message to the Zambian people was simple and straightforward. The PF was given a mandate for 5 years, which was meant to expire in 2016. And so obviously the whole process had already been lined up. And so that is something that as a party they will endeavor to ensure that they execute up until 2016. And he has made it very clear during his campaigns that that is actually what they plan to do. But perhaps just now we could just take a listen to what is happening in the crowds here at the Euro Stadium.
Next up on the job, single shots, guys. Who the single shots? Okay, thank you so much. The music there. Can you stop the music there? Thank you so much. Very shortly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see the arrival of His Excellency Mr. Robert Gabriel Mugabe, Chairman of Senate and the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and Amai Grace Mugabe. There we are, His Excellency Robert Gabriel Mugabe, Chairman of Southern African Development Community and President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and Amai Grace Mugabe.
Right, that is the arrival of the President of Zimbabwe, Robert Gabriel Mugabe. He is a man that Zambians find very fascinating. I do remember the last time he attended President Sata's funeral. He received a standing ovation of sorts the moment he stepped into the stadium.
That is His Excellency Mr. Robert Gabriel Mugabe, Chairman of the Southern African Development Community and President of the Republic.
Just running through the greeting the line of Acting President Guy Scott, and Robert Mugabe sat a chair, just making his way into the Heroes Stadium in Lusaka for this very special occasion. So, I mean, it's good to see that Zambia continues to enjoy good relations with its neighboring countries, and you could see from the number of foreign heads of state and others that are being represented here, who are all just coming to witness this very special occasion, to be a part of these celebrations.
Very shortly, Supreme Court judges, High Court judges to take their seats on the podium. The High requests the Supreme Court judges
And what we're seeing are various forms of celebration styles. That's one thing that Zambians are also known for. You know, they're extremely expressive and are always coming up with all sorts of celebration styles. I do remember that during the time when the PF was ushered into office in 2011, so many different celebration styles were actually being witnessed, and this has equally repeated itself this time around. And so we do expect that in the coming days, probably weeks, people will be expressing themselves in amazing ways. We do expect that, Jason.
Well, yeah, for the supporters, the electorates, yes, they'll be expressing themselves in any way they feel like, provided they are maintaining order and peace. As you can see, those are the arrivals of the acting Chief Justice, Supreme Court judges and High Court judges, just making their way into the Heroes Stadium. So, yes, for the supporters, they will continue to, enjoy, celebrate. But for those that are in office, it's time to deliver. And obviously that will be something that a lot of people, especially those key to seeing that Zambia continues in its path of economic development, they will continue to expect that the country will continue, to post-economic and, economic development going forward. But with the arrival of, the acting Chief Justice, Supreme Court judges and High Court judges, it means that the arrival of Mr. Edgar Lungu is very, very, near, and that would mean that the proceedings here, in as far as the inauguration ceremony is concerned, will start as well.
That's right, and it is expected that there will be a ceremonial arrival of Mr. Edgar Lungu, together with his spouse, Mrs. Esther Lungu, and that is going to happen not so long from now, as all the invited guests, the dignitaries have already arrived and taken their positions. And so what is being awaited now is the big moment, and this is the moment that everybody is looking forward to, the arrival of the man of the moment, Mr. Edgar Lungu.
So the famous song, or the famous anthem, if you so wish to call it, the PF anthem, keeps on banging here at the Hero Stadium. That's Inauguration winner. Very instrumental. You could say we have a lot of iron ladies in Zambia.
I'm proud to be a woman in Zambia at the moment, particularly that the women, are taking up more and more significant and important roles, and they're able to walk the path that not so long ago was only thought to be that for men. And so it's a very good time for the Zambian people.
So as you can see there, Chitalo, first Republican President Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, and the Zimbabwean President, they come a long way. And it seems that we're expecting somebody to arrive on a chopper. Let's get to find out who that person is. But I was talking about the relations between the two, presidents. That's Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, first Republican president, and Robert Mugabe for Zimbabwe. You'd see he can't hide how excited he is, and well, I must say that we expect quite a lot of ads for TV off this event, because everybody seems to be excited with what is happening here. But yes, we are still awaiting the arrival of Mr. Edgar Lungu, who is to be sworn in as Zambia's 60th president. That's a very familiar face, Chitalu, there.
That's right, Dr. John Piri, Minister of Education.
So you could see that a lot of those ministers, they are all in here to witness the swearing-in ceremony of Mr. Edgar Lungu as Zambia's 60th president. So communications with those that are outside the stadium continues, and we are still saying that the stadium is not yet full. So if you are really one person that is wanting to be here, please, you can find your way here. So they are here in all sizes and ages to witness this historical event on the Zambian calendar and Zambian politics. And you could say that from 1964 to date, that Zambia has made strides in attaining all the principles and tenets of democracy, not only attaining them, but being able to follow them throughout. And which is why I was saying earlier that slowly Zambia is becoming that beacon of peace, an example of how democracy should be, exhibited or implemented.
Yes, indeed, Jason. I think Zambia is a true example. And so people are definitely very eager for that moment when the acting president of the Republic of Zambia will present to the new president of the Republic of Zambia the symbols of office, that is the Republican Constitution, the Zambian flag, and the presidential standard. And it will be at that moment that Mr. Lungu will then be recognized as the president of the Republic of Zambia. So until then, we still await the arrival of Mr. Edgar Lungu, the man who has brought all these people here together today, the man who has pretty much fought a good fight. It was a very, very tight race. It required a lot of hard work. There was very little time at the disposal of the Patriotic Front as a party, and so it's a job well done, and the fruits of their labor are being witnessed here today. Madam Jean Kapata and Mr. Faxon Shamenda also here to witness this very momentous occasion.
So you can tell the anticipation the waiting as all the disciplinarians, and as far as defense and security is concerned, they are putting things in order, and also the cultural dancers are waiting to display something interesting. That's Dr. Nevas Mumba, the MMD president. The MMD president did represent the party in the just ended presidential elections. And from any minute now, we will be expecting the arrival of Mr. Edgar Lungu, who is to be sworn in as Zambia's 6th president. And photojournalists will gather the crowd. Mr. Edgar Lungu, who is now inside the Heroes Stadium, watching in Lusaka. And they have the grand performance by the cultural dance. Mr. Lungu being flanked by very, very familiar faces as the proceedings. This definitely does mark the start of the ceremony, and being flanked by the wife there. Such a pleasure, to be a wife this time around, because you have to go through thick and thin to reach that extent.
That's right, and the humility that Mr. Edgar Lungu has exhibited from the word go is something that you're able to pick out even as he takes his position here at the Hero Stadium. A day which is his day, but when you look at him, it's amazing to see that he's all well put together. The humbleness is something that is still there with him, and some quarters of society was saying, beyond that humbleness is probably a very strong-charactered man, a man who's destined to drive Zambia as a country forward.
Very, very humble looking, you put it, Chitalu. And it's now all eyes on Edgar Lungu. As you can see, the symbol for the Patriotic Front. And yes, they all await him to get to the VIP, seat. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda there, and Robert Mugabe, the acting. Is that the acting president? It's not clear from this angle, but it is the acting president. And yes, it will be greetings. Soon to be the First Lady of the Republic of Zambia. Sure, she remains to compare notes with Charlotte Scott, who's been in that hot seat for 90 days now, plus. And yes, there you have it. Those are the moments, Chitalo.
That's right. So we do expect that the protocols will begin any moment now. The protocols that will see this man who has risen, who has actually been called and qualified from pretty much a very humble background. And he will be taking center stage here today, and will be carrying the mantle for the country up until the country goes back to the polls in the next 20 months or so.
So it's also, those are the pictures outside the stadium, and you can see that traffic and crowds are slowly making their way into the stadium. Look at that portrait there, and it must have been taken some time back, but it does place Edgar Lungu somewhere. And there's a lot of jubilation, dancing around the stadium. So We're drawing closer to that moment. That's the man there. That's the 6th Republican President of the Republic of Zambia, Edgar Chagwa Lungu, who stood on the patriotic front. It's the moment, and he still remains and wears that humble look.
My name is Colonel Reverend Vincent Maynard, Director of Chaplaincy in Zambia Army, deputizing the Secretary to the Cabinet, Dr. Roland Musiska, who will substantively preside over the inauguration ceremony for the President-elect. May I now request Colonel Reverend Henry Matfeo, Head of Chaplaincy, Zambia National Service, to give us an opening prayer. Reverend Matfeo. Let us pray. Tears may linger for a night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. Rejoice, Zambia, for the glory of the Lord is risen with healing in his wings. Thank you, Father, you have been our shelter from age to age. Leaders come from you, and as the President for this great Republic of Zambia is being sworn into office, we rejoice as a nation because you have raised us from ashes. You have turned our mourning into joy. Glory be to you, Most High God. Arise, O God, and let your enemies be scattered. We receive your servant, the President-elect, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, whom you have appointed at such a time as this one, our President, our Jubilee President. Let him rule without segregation. Let him rule firmly, but with a kind heart. Let him embrace diversities and difference of opinions, and as a father to the nation, provide leadership. We pray for the foreign heads of state and foreign government representatives present here. We pray that you may bless them, and thank you for allowing them passage into our country, even as we pray for your speed upon them. We thank you for their presence at this auspicious occasion. Bless this occasion as we gather here. Cover us with your presence and anoint your servant for the task you have raised him for. Let your favor and protection cover your servant as he takes office. Bless us all as we embrace your servant to govern us. We make our prayer through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Colonel Matfeo. It is now my singular honor to introduce the Secretary to the Cabinet, Dr. Roland Musiska, who will now preside over the inaugural ceremony. Dr. Roland Musiska, sir. We may be seated. Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, Dr. Guy L. Scott, MP, Acting President of the Republic of Zambia, and Dr. Charles Scott, Your Excellency, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, President-elect of the Republic of Zambia, and Madam Esther Lungu, Your Excellency, Mr. Robert Gabriel Mugabe, Chairman of the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC, and President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and Madam Grace Mugabe, the Right Honorable Dr. Barnabas Sibusiso, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Swaziland, Your Excellency Mr. Mizengo Kayenza Peter Pinda, Prime Minister of the United Republic of Tanzania, Your Excellency Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda, First President of the Republic of Zambia, Your Excellency Mr. Rupia Bwezani Banda, Fourth President of the Republic of Zambia, and Madam Tandiwe Banda, Mr. Davis Chama, Secretary General of the Patriotic Front, Your Excellency Dr. George Lebelo Pinto Chikoti, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Angola, Honorable Dr. George Chaponda, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations of the Republic of Malawi, Engineer Michael Kamau, Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Transport of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Mr. Thomas Ruhaka, Vice Prime Minister of Transport of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Dr. Sarah Farewell, Under-Secretary of State, United States of America, Your Redship, Madam Justice Lombe P. Chibesakunda, Acting Chief Justice, the Honorable Justice Dr. Patrick Matibini, Speaker of the National Assembly, members of the Central Committee of the Patriotic Front, Honorable Cabinet Ministers and Deputy Ministers here present, the Executive Secretary Sadik, the Executive Secretary Komesa, Your Worship Engineer Mlengasata, Mayor of the City of Lusaka, political party leaders, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners accredited to Zambia, senior government officials, former leaders in the government of the Republic of Zambia, religious and civics leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to welcome you at this inauguration ceremony for the 6th President of the Republic of Zambia at our National Hero Stadium. I would like to thank you all on behalf of the government of the Republic of Zambia. During this ceremony, we witness the inauguration of Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu as the 6th President of our great country. This indeed is, as the psalmist put it, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we as Zambians should rejoice and be glad in it. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today marks a new dawn in the history of the Republic of Zambia when the 6th President will be inaugurated in the Jubilee year after Zambia clocked 50 years of independence on 24th October 2014. This ceremony sadly follows the demise of our 5th President, Mr. Michael Chilufya-Sata, who passed away on 28 October 2014 and was put to rest on 11th November 2014. May his soul rest in peace. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, after serious campaigns by various political contenders, the people of Zambia, with the help of God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, have spoken through the exercise of their right, the right to elect the leader. It is appropriate for us to extend our heartfelt congratulations to the President-elect on this victory. As we begin the proceedings of this ceremony, it is my hope that you enjoy the ceremony, and I wish our distinguished heads of state and government and other foreign dignitaries a pleasant stay in the city of Lusaka. I thank you. Now it is my privilege to call upon the Honorable Lady Justice, Mr. P. Chibesakunda, to come forward and to take position to swear in the President-elect. My lady.
Sorry? Here.
Please remain quiet so that you understand. Remain quiet. Ishongo mungu te balela ndaba kateka. Silence, silence.
I, Edgar Chagwa Lungu, having been constitutionally elected to the office of President of the Republic of Zambia, do swear that I will faithfully and diligently discharge my duties and perform my function in this high office, that I will uphold and maintain the constitution and laws of Zambia, and that I will dedicate my abilities to the service and welfare of the people of Zambia without fear, favor, or ill will. So help me God.
Round of applause for Teni Nomba. The president is just signing that he has taken over. What we are about to see, what you see happening now, is the handover of symbols of the office of the president, which are going to be the Republican Constitution, the Zambian flag, and the presidential standard. Those will be handed over very shortly to the president. There they are. Those are the instruments of power. There is a transfer now of power from the acting president to the president now, the 60th president. The Republican Constitution, the Zambian flag, the presidential standard. Maka ya kwela maka kwinangu ya sira kwinangu ya yamba. That is transfer of power. It is done. It's a done deal. Round of applause. We have the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Let's go down. He's going to salute. Just a minute, what we are going to see now. Sorry, music out. Just a minute, we are going to see His Excellency moving to the saluting jazz to get his first presidential salute. May I request that we all be upstanding? Thank you. Shall we stand? Now is Commander-in-Chief of the Zambia Armed Forces. Okay, silence, silence, silence. Silence. What we see,
President of the Republic of Zambia and Commander-in-Chief of the Zambia Armed Forces, Guard of Honor, mounted by 2nd Battalion, the Zambia Regiment, all present and ready for your inspection, Your Excellency, sir.
What you see happening is Major Mundubili Mwamba, parade commander, moves forward to get permission for the president to inspect the Guard of Honor, mounted by the 2nd Battalion Zambia Army. It is a wonderful thing. Abakuluba nchitonomba, bambo kuomba. All the pressmen, move away from the parade. Provost, do your work. Nobody goes at the parade there. Provost, police.
This is the parade.
That is the Commander-in-Chief inspecting the Guard of Honor as his first assignment. Manja, 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 iwe. Those who can not see, just watch from the screen. It's wonderful on the screen there. Our president inspecting the Guard of Honor, mounted by the 2nd Battalion of the Zambia Army.
Excellency, permission, carry your Excellency, sir.
A round of applause. The president has just given permission to the parade commander. Could I request the provost that as His Excellency is taking his salute now, I would request that everybody clear from here. The soldiers are going to march. Clear away from here. Come behind me, all of you. Provost, can we do our job? This is a military parade and we don't joke. Move away, everybody out behind me. Everybody out. Very shortly, we are going to see a march past by all services: Zambia Army, Air Force, Zambia Police Service, Zambia National Service, and a fly past. Mwamba is just getting permission from His Excellency the President. Listen in.
Your Excellency, your inspection is over. Permission for the parade, march and fly past. Your Excellency, sir. Sir.
We are now going to see the march past by Zambia Army, Zambia Air Force, Zambia Police Service, Zambia National Service, and a fly past from Zambia Air Force. I want all of you to clear so that there is no obstruction when the marching is taking place, or otherwise I'll lock you up. Excellent. Manja, wonderful. Wonderful. This is a wonderful parade for the president. They'll be closing in to come and pass through for a presidential salute. Manja iwe. Wonderful Manja Imwe. We see the parade moving. Zambia Army, Zambia Air Force, Zambia Police Service, Zambia National Service, and there will be a fly past very shortly. That is Zambia Air Force in action. That is a big formation. The sign of victory. Kwata. That is Zambia Air Force. Followed by Zambia Police Service. Followed by Zambia National Service as the last guard. Those standing in front of the heads of state and government, can you please clear? Including those of you that are here. By my order and command, clear right now. Clear from here. Provost, can you help me? Police, can we do our job? His Excellency is taking his seat back on the swearing-in dais. As the President moves to the swearing-in dais, may I prepare Defense and Security Choir for a song as you clear from there. A Defense and Security Choir. Just wait for the parade commander to finish. Hold on, Defense and Security Choir. Manja iwe suona wadhamini vichitika pa parade hapa hiyo. Thank you. Well done. Defense and Security Choir. Chocha anyway. Uli mwana wandoshi. Chocha. Can you clear? Clear from here. Hello? Excuse me. Sorry. Clear. Stop negotiating. Away. Move away from here. Move away. Get away from here. Move here. Move, including you. In Africa, we need peace. Beautiful.
Oh yes. Chalo chesi cha mutende na konse chalo chonse mu byomutende na mu mitundu yonse kushafu mushonse twakane nkono twakano
Hello. Pick it up.
Wonderful Lord, sweet Lord, there's so much. Defense and security choir. Oh yes. Isansa nashikira mu Zambia. Muntu uli onsalide wasansa muka. Come on. Hey. Yes. So wonderful to us, you are so nice. Your love is so sufficient on us. Thank you, my Jesus. You are so wonderful to us, you are so nice. Your love is so sufficient on us. Thank you.
You are so wonderful to us, you are so nice. Your love is so sufficient.
Come on, brother, shout.
Thank you, Majesty.
You are so wonderful to us, you are so nice. Your love is so sufficient on us. Thank you. Your love is so sufficient on us. My Papa, you are so wonderful to us, you are so nice. Your love is so sufficient on us. Thank you.
You are so wonderful to us, you are so nice. Your love is so sufficient on us. Thank you, Majesty.
You are so wonderful to us, you are so nice. Your love is so sufficient on us. Thank you. Zambia
Never swear.
Come on.
Without you, Lord, it's waiting there. Without you, whoever
swear. Without you, Lord, it's waiting there. Without you, Papa. Whoever swear. Without you, Lord, it's waiting there. Without you, Papa. Without you, whoever swear, without you, Lord, is waiting there. Without you, Papa. When we need to send you a machine, we need to put the bed down. When we get to the new look of them banda, where I will go to Shimuna. Don't send it down, national over Zambia. Don't say it, don't be the film of your Guru Pachalo chess.
whoever lives without you, Lord, he lives in vain. Without you, whoever lives without you, Lord, he lives in vain. Without you, Papa. Whoever lives without you, Lord, he lives in vain. Without you, Papa. Without you, Lord, he lives in vain. Without you, Papa. Whoever lives without you, Lord, he lives in vain. Without you, Papa.
Even when we're less, we want to know that the consent can be children sooner. And forever we shall remain in your presence.
That's how we've come to you, Papa, to say thank you for the leader you've chosen for us. We say thank you.
That's how we've come to you, Papa, to say thank you for the leader you've chosen for us. We say thank you.
That's how we've come to you, Papa, to say thank you for the leader you've chosen for us. We say thank you.
That's how we've come to you, Papa, to say thank you for the leader you've chosen for us. We say thank you.
Going on fashion that this name shall prosper. Anointing, Papa. Anointing your son, Papa.
Anointing,
Thank you very much.
anointing your son, Papa.
Anointing, Papa.
Thank you very much,
Anointing your son, Papa.
Anointing, Papa.
Thank you. A round of applause.
Anointing, Papa.
Thank you. Pastor Chelenko.
Anointing, Papa. Anointing your son, Papa.
Anointing, Papa. Anointing your son, Papa. Papa.
Zambia, land of peace.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Round of applause. Bako Teleniko. Manja imwe. Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, President of the Republic of Zambia, to address the nation. May I invite His Excellency to make his inaugural address. Your Excellency, sir.
Your Lordship, the Acting Chief Justice, Madame Lombe Chibesakunda, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Honor, the Vice President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Guy Scott, MP, and Dr. Charlotte Scott, Honorable Mr. Speaker, Justice Dr. Patrick Matibini and Mrs. Matibini, Your Excellency, the First President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda, Your Excellency, the Fourth President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Mr. Rupia Bwezani Banda and Mrs. Tandiwe Banda, whom I presume should be here, Secretary General of the Patriotic Front, Mr. Davis Chama, members of the Central Committee of the Patriotic Front, the immediate past First Lady, Dr. Christine Kaseba-Sata, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Deputy Ministers, and Members of Parliament, Secretary of the Cabinet, Dr. Msiska, Your Lordships, Justices of the Supreme, Your Lordships and Lordships, Justices of the Supreme and High Courts of Zambia, Your Worship, the Mayor of the City of Lusaka, Engineer Mlenga Sata, and other civic leaders, leaders of all political parties present here, Your Excellencies, special representatives of heads of state and government, permanent secretaries and senior government officials, service chiefs, Your Royal Highnesses, Your Excellencies, ambassadors, and high commissioners accredited to the Republic of Zambia. May I simply say, all protocols observed. Countrymen and women, 58 years ago, I was born, Edgar Chagwa Lungu, at Ndola Central Hospital on the Copper Belt. And I grew up in Kitwe's Chimome Township. And later, of course, I moved on to Lusaka and settled in the capital city, as you may be very well aware. As I stand before you today, as the 60th President of the great Republic of Zambia, I am overwhelmed with gratitude, and I feel greatly humbled that you have decided to make me your servant. You are my masters. I am your number one servant. My primary and inescapable duty is to enjoin you, my fellow countrymen, and women in all corners of our large country in expressing our unqualified and very profound gratitude to God Almighty for preserving and guiding us in the very trying 3 months since the tragic, untimely death of our beloved President, His Excellency Mr. Michael Chilufya Sata. May his soul rest in peace. At this point, may I simply call upon all of us to be upstanding for 1 minute to commemorate and remember our departed leader.
Shall we be upstanding? We observe a minute of silence. A minute and one say. A minute of silence. Lekeni chongo. Tulei kusaba kateka batushire. Thank you.
Mwechili wechakale kafisa memuri mwe umulopana meshi fiasumine muri mwe echili wechakale kafisa fellow countrymen and women.
We may be seated, thank you.
Please, sit down, thank you. Fellow countrymen and women, comrades, it has not been an easy time. Only our unique collective wisdom and the spirit of human fellowship, so firmly embedded in our national character, has sustained us this far. This extraordinary fellowship forms our national cohesion. Countrymen and women, the process leading to the election, especially for us in the ruling Patriotic Front, was not easy. It was fraught with difficulties, but ultimately the good Lord guided us, and my nomination as the presidential candidate for our party was validated ultimately. There is no room, let alone time, for rancor or settling of scores of any kind at all. On the other hand, I want to tender my gratitude to all my colleagues in our great party, the Patriotic Front, for their unanimous decision to elect me as president of the party, which ultimately qualified me as presidential candidate. The journey was sometimes acrimonious and fractious, as we tried to find common ground as a family, and also as we from time to time fought political battles with the opposition. We traversed the country, we went to the election, and we won, simply because we focused more on that which unites us as opposed to that which divides us. I must say that the just ended election clearly shows that there is still work to be done on the national building front. Some colleagues in the campaigns stooped so low as to appeal to tribalism and regionalism, name-calling and violence among many other vices. Such politicking runs counter to the fundamental principle of upholding human dignity on which Zambia was founded. The principle of one Zambia, one nation cannot be sacrificed for political expediency, especially that which is driven by tribalism. We must never forget that the freedom we enjoy in Zambia today was achieved at a great sacrifice by our founding fathers. And those pandering to tribalism and dividing our people are working against the great sacrifices our forefathers made. We must remain true to the vision of our founding fathers, a united Zambia, proud and free, a people that will appreciate one another on the basis of character and not tribe, because this scourge is a real threat to national cohesion. We must always realize that at the end of the day, we are one great family, one people, created in the image of God Almighty. We now, countrymen, must move forward as a united and healed nation, a healed political party, a united nation, a united people. Whenever elections are held and are over, we Zambians have in the past demonstrated that Zambia is bigger than any single individual, including me. To this effect, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the 10 other contenders who ran for the presidency, especially one, Hakainde Hichilema, who mounted a formidable campaign countrywide. The free atmosphere under which the election was conducted is a clear testimony of a mature democracy. The kind of competition we saw nurtures our democracy. This was made possible, I must boast, because of the PF government's guarantee to the constitutional guarantees, namely free speech, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, amongst many other civil and political liberties we have in the constitution, which can only be guaranteed by the political party in our power. PF has enabled democracy to survive the challenges that the nation faces. I must congratulate the party for that. There are no PF members who clap for themselves here. I wish to recognize the valuable endorsement we got as Patriotic Front from President Rupia Bwezanibanda, the MMD members of Parliament, and the MMD members across the country, and all the voters from other political parties and non-members of political parties who supported my candidature. To you all, I say, may God Almighty richly bless you for making those selfless decisions that will assist to foster unity and development in our country. To all the citizens in general, I wish to express my gratitude with due humility for the trust reposed in me by electing me the 60th president of our great nation. You have indeed placed on my shoulders a very heavy responsibility to be ever mindful that I have no leeway for lapses which may induce Zambians into thinking that they misplaced their confidence and trust by voting for me. As I have stated, we were 11 candidates for the presidency, and each and every one of us had profound messages to the voters and the country as a whole, but you chose me. For this, I'm greatly humbled. The bottom line is that we all want our country to move forward and to banish squalor and poverty in our midst. Only one of us could end up as president and have that singular honor and privilege. I'm humbled eternally and indebted to you all, my fellow citizens. Countrymen and women, I promise that I will serve with diligence and deep sense of duty and commitment, and I will not hesitate to submit myself to your guidance and collective wisdom. In this election, there are no victors nor vanquished in the process. We are all winners, and I have an equal duty to foster harmony and togetherness. It's the only way to accelerate the development of our country. I promise to work towards making political process in our country free and open. Countrymen and women, the fabulous wealth living side by side with abject poverty in our country is a moral outrage and a slur on our collective conscience. It hurts me. It's unacceptable, and we must all join the crusade against poverty. Not through some of those dazzling rhetorics I hear, but through working hard. We must balance our privileges and rights with duty, responsibility, and obligation to our country. I'm fully aware of the depth of poverty that continue to afflict the great majority of our people. It unsettles me to see families go hungry when ours is a wealthy nation. I am aware of the many mothers that walk long distances in order to give birth, to collect water, to take children to school, and so on in their daily life. I'm aware of the many young people who still cannot access a decent education, the many youths without jobs because the economy is not big enough to absorb them. I'm aware of farmers who experience delayed payment for their crop. I'm aware of a few people who are getting stupendously rich illegally, while the majority teeter on the brink of poverty. This saddens me. Something, countrymen, must be done in our generation, in our time. It must be done now. Countrymen, I know I'm stepping in the shoes of a giant, of a man who was our torchbearer and a symbol of our party's vision of a robust, transformative development agenda, which in the last 3 years has moved our country forward and created a momentum which we must accelerate and sustain at the same time. President Satta's legacy will forever be our beacon of inspiration. Like late President Satta, I come from a humble background and I have experienced the agony and anguish of deprivation. Therefore, when I say I will be reliable in uniting the country in our war against inequality, social injustice and deprivation, do not take this for a joke. I become president at a time when the outlook for the global economy is gloomy. Lately, the World Bank has downgraded the global GDP growth from 3.5% to 3%. Therefore, my perception of the downward trend is accurate or correct or well-founded. We are all aware in our country of the significant decline in the commodity prices, including our major commodity, copper. There will therefore be need not only for belt tightening, but for radical rethinking of the way we do things. It cannot be business as usual. We have to tighten our belts a bit. However, we shall continue building all the socio-economic infrastructure projects planned under the leadership of our late President. All the projects and programs shall be executed as planned and where possible, as I've said earlier on, even accelerated. The overarching aims of our socio-economic diversification, poverty reduction, and promotion of meaningful participation of Zambians in the economy as entrepreneurs and workers shall be enhanced. We expect our socio-economic policies to accelerate Zambia's march to a middle-income group, a middle-income country on a sustainable basis by the year 2030. Countrymen and women, let me continue promising that we will be a listening government. Our doors will always remain wide open to workers, farmers, entrepreneurs, small, medium and large businesses who keep our economy running. This includes the man on the street who completes the value chain as the consumer. To all you, I and my colleagues in government will listen. Our country will continue to maintain and even improve on a conducive environment for investors, both local and external. Our policies will be underpinned by consistency and predictability. Recently, we have restructured the revenue system for the mining industry from a corporate profit-based tax to a mineral royalty one, which is simple and a final tax. Government's desire to ensure companies pay the right taxes will continue. I must emphasize this because some people don't understand. Government's desire to ensure companies pay the right taxes will continue. This is an imperative of good tenets of governance, and let me assure investors that we remain open to dialogue so that government continues to provide the desired conducive environment for private sector growth and at the same time provide for the people of Zambia. Countrymen and women, as your president, I want to focus on doubling the number of defense personnel houses and other essential workers. This is an ongoing exercise, and I want to complete the massive road expansion program which Mr. President Michael Chifasata left. I also want to complete the construction of the 650 health posts, among the many other development programs currently going on in our country. I want to hand you a new constitution. We will definitely deliver a people-driven constitution as per the roadmap we recently released. In this respect, I'm hereby appointing one renowned and respected lawyer, Dr. Simbia Kula, to immediately become Minister of Justice and see to it that this is done. Countrymen and women, this is a momentous day. On this day, I only would like to thank you, Zambians, for what you are. I would like to thank you for being a peaceful and loving people. You have re-energized me and reaffirmed the peer spirit that was in the past overcome with desire to continue Mr. Sata's vision. This is a spirit that has lifted Zambia from the brink of political instability. My administration shall continue with the transformation of our country. To realize the dream, we must remain a beacon of peace and hope, we ought to stick to the rule of law and good governance. To our friends in the region, Africa and beyond, we warmly extend a hand of friendship, brotherhood and solidarity. Zambia shall continue to pursue progressive policies of peaceful coexistence, non-interference in the affairs of other states, and mutual respect for one another. Fellow countrymen, at this point in time, I would like to thank one person, a reliable ally and partner, my wife Esther, for the unflinching support and wise counsel. She and my family, she and my other family members have endured the loneliness of the absence of a father and a husband during my long time away from home, as we were busy campaigning. To my wife of more than 30 years, Esther, you are a true friend and a true comrade. I also want to thank my grandson Lishomwa, amongst the many other grandsons and daughters that I have, and all my in-laws. I'm glad to have all of you on my side. I thank you. I render my deep thanks to my wider family, friends and colleagues in the Patriotic Front, and indeed to my many other friends and every other Zambian who supported and encouraged me in one way or the other. And those who criticized me, because out of criticism I became better. I want to thank my great team, the members of the Central Committee, members of Parliament, cabinet ministers, and indeed others who volunteered to work with us. The national team, the national campaign team, which later incorporated President Rupia Banda's team, to you I say thank you. All the local campaign teams across the country, I say thank you. Our great Patriotic Front cadres who keep this party going, I say thank you. Your support has been invaluable from the start, and I will need you even more in the days to come. To those opposition leaders who may have considered defeat, I thank you for acknowledging this basic character of democracy. To those who are dissatisfied, good luck, there are courts of law there. To local and foreign business and interests, let me assure you that your investment is safe and it shall continue remaining safe on my watch. We shall try as much as possible to balance your interests against those of our people. In conclusion, let me say on this subject that copper is important to us as the main foreign currency earner. But I want to step up the rate of economic diversification and explore other ways of earning more income from other activities such as agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, and so on. To our partners in the economy, let me assure you that we seek nothing but a win-win situation. To all of you gathered here, all of you foot soldiers from Patriotic Front who contributed in a big and small way, you make me proud. However, I would like to stop here and get back to work because there is no honeymoon for us. And as your new president and commander-in-chief, let me assure you that this is not deliberate, but this is the way Mr. Sata would have loved to see us continue with his legacy. This is just a curtain raiser. We have work to do. Tomorrow, I will be swearing in a few more ministers whom I will be appointing in the course of the day. But let me say, I will go home full of melancholy, remembering this day, because you, Zambians, voted for a Jubilee president. And as your Jubilee president, I will target at reducing your poverty. And not my poverty. I will grow jobs to give you hope. Because I share the same background as you. To the people of Zambia, for your kind thoughts and consideration that I can preside over your fate and destiny, I say thank you. Certainly, I will need your endless prayers. For in the end, only God is our final guide and arbiter. I liked it when I read the newspaper today. The acting president was saying it's only God at work. That's how we want it. It was God at work. You may have doubts, but it was God at work. Let's allow God to continue working in our lives. Let me state, I recall when I was a young lawyer appearing in court before the late Judge Tengi, may so rest in peace, I said, finally, my Lord, finally. They said, how many finallys are you going to give? Just go on. I hope this finally I'm giving is a final one, my lady. As I conclude, let me state that politics is not just about winning and celebrating the victory. It's about meeting the needs and aspirations of the people. In this context, I want to call upon all those who participated in the politics of electing a new president for Zambia and lost to come on board and join us in serving our beloved Zambian people. Let me remind my colleagues in government, I think there's only one, me and Dr. Sindiako. Let me remind my colleagues in government, those to be appointed, and the ruling party, that the period before the next election is very short. We must therefore work very hard in the remaining 18 months to retain the confidence of our masters, the Zambian people. Our work starts today. God has been gracious to Zambia, and we pledge to honor him by adhering to Christian values. Zambia shall remain a Christian nation tolerant to other religions. I must make this very clear. Zambia shall remain a Christian nation, but we are tolerant to other religions. May God bless the Republic of Zambia. Let us always hold each other's hand and reach out and let love be at the core of our activities. God bless you all. God bless Zambia. Before I thank you, let me underscore that tomorrow morning at 9 hours, there will be a swearing in for new cabinet ministers. Some will be reappointed, others might not. Thank you very much.
Manja. Thank you, Excellency. At this particular moment in time, may I request His Excellency the President to release the doves and thereafter cut the balloons, Your Excellency. What we shall see happening is a release of doves and balloon by the President as a sign of continued peace and unity in our nation, Mother Zambia. There we are, in Kundeyo. There we are, the dove has been released. Yahweh again. Wonderful. Shilea Yeshua, another one. There it is. A sign of peace and unity. A sign of peace and unity. Peace and unity. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Peace and unity. Peace and unity. Thank you, Your Excellency. The balloons have gone. May I request His Excellency to take his seat? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thank you for the music. We've got another program coming. At this particular juncture, ladies and gentlemen, it is once more my rare honor and privilege to invite the SADC chairperson, His Excellency Mr. Robert Gabriel Mugabe, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, to address Zambia. Your Excellency. Can we give away so that His Excellency comes over to come and give his speech on behalf of SADC countries? A round of applause as he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Manja. That is the SADC chairperson, His Excellency President Robert Gabriel Mugabe of Zimbabwe. We may be seated, thank you so much, as we listen to the speech. Ichongo.
Your Excellency, Mr. Edgar Lungu, President of the Republic of Zambia, the outgoing acting President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Dr. Guy Scott, and Madam, Your Excellency, the founding President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Your Excellency, former President Rupia Banda, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Speaker of Parliament, Dr. Patrick Matibini, the Acting Chief Justice for the Republic of Zambia, Justice Lombe Chibesakunda, Your Excellency, whoever it is representing Dr. Stegomina Lawrence Tax, who is our Executive Secretary of SADC, heads of international and regional organizations, Your Worship, the Mayor of Lusaka, Mr. Mulenga Sata, traditional leaders here present, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, on behalf of the people of the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC, allow me to extend our warm congratulations to the newly elected President and to all the people of Zambia on their victory in the January 2015 presidential by-election. The SADC family congratulates you all, particularly for holding peaceful, free and fair elections. We would also like to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Guy Scott for having held fort since the sad passing on of our brother, the late President of Zambia, Michael Chilufya Sata, and for ably guiding this great nation towards holding this very successful by-election. Let me also take this opportunity to thank all the presidential candidates who participated in this election for enriching Zambia's democratic process and for accepting the outcome with honor. I must also congratulate the winners for being magnanimous as they celebrated their victory. The maturity exhibited by all stakeholders in this electoral process is a source of pride for SADC and for the rest of Africa. This historic occasion marks the beginning of a new political leadership in Zambia. I salute the millions of Zambians who participated in this democratic process, testifying that the democratic culture is taking root in Southern Africa. The smooth transition we are experiencing today after the untimely passing away of the late President Michael Sata is partly the product of institutional reforms that we enriched as the SADC family. The peace and tranquility that we enjoy in our region is one among many positives in our efforts to turn around the fortunes of our region. It gives us the opportunity to direct our efforts towards the welfare of the region. To my dear brother and colleague, the newly elected President, I say that the people of Zambia have given you the mantle of leadership at a time when great opportunities exist in this country. In this country in particular, and in the SADC region in general. We are mindful of opportunities and challenges that lie ahead for the balance of the presidential term as you take off from where your predecessor left. I am confident that you will be equal to the task and that you have the pedigree to inspire accelerated development of this country, underpinned by unity of purpose. I am confident that you will succeed in keeping your great country as one Zambia and one nation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the desire for economic integration in our region is gathering momentum. We held the recent SADC summit under the theme, and I quote, SADC Strategy for Economic Transformation, leveraging the region's diverse resources for sustainable economic and social development through the beneficiation and value addition, unquote. This was largely informed by and is in sync with the African Union thrust that Africa should derive maximum returns from its abundant and diverse resources. Value addition and beneficiation, the beneficiation of our resources, would lead to rapid industrialization and to the creation of employment, as well as to increased returns from the export of processed goods. As we go towards the SADC Extraordinary Summit in April 2015, we look forward to concrete resolutions on the industrial development agenda. This should involve improving Southern Africa intra-trade, which now stands at a paltry 18.5% of all the total trade volumes. The recent financial turmoil in the West calls for Africa to enhance intra-Africa trade in order to safeguard herself against external shocks. Ladies and gentlemen, while the SADC region has remained an oasis of peace, the world today continues to witness unbridled acts of terrorism. In recent months, the world has witnessed an upsurge in terrorist activities, which have caused the loss of lives and severe injuries to thousands of our innocent civilians. These unprovoked acts of wanton murder should elicit strong condemnation from all peace-loving people. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently faced with a crisis in the region, with the news of floods that have struck a number of countries in Southern Africa, particularly Malawi, Mozambique, Madagascar, and Zimbabwe, causing loss of life, injuries, and considerable damage and discomfort to so many families. Words alone cannot ameliorate the suffering that the affected people are facing, but can definitely give victims the strength to carry on. It is our wish that our words of comfort and encouragement reach all, assuring them of a particular remembrance in prayer for all those who have lost their lives and for all those caught up in this grave calamity. We hope that solidarity will not be lacking and the necessary help to address this difficult moment will be received urgently. will be received urgently. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, lastly, may I call upon you, my brothers and sisters, to commit yourselves to accepting the results of an election in which you have exercised your democratic right to choose your leaders. This would be the surest way of nipping in the bud some of the problems we have been grappling with on the continent for far too long. May you work together in harmony in honor of illustrious sons of the African or African soil, such as the late former President Michael Chilufya Sata. In this way, you will continue to serve the interests of your country and of our region and indeed of our African continent, both in word and in deed. Your Excellencies, I wish His Excellency, our new President, the best in discharging your duties as the President of this beautiful country. A beautiful country indeed, which has bestowed upon you an honor by the people of Zambia. And we say, as we join the people of Zambia, one Zambia, one nation, long live the people of Zambia, Ziko Mokwambiri, Twarumba. I thank you.
That was the SADC chairperson, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Mr. Robert Gabriel Mugabe. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Once a day.
Just hold on with your music there. We may be seated, thank you. Your Excellency, we are coming to a time where people are going to congratulate you, Your Excellency. And in congratulating you, we shall begin with the heads of state and government. Could I request Your Excellency, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, to stand somewhere? It will be directed by the Chief Protocol. As I invite Their Excellencies, the heads of state and government, to come and greet and congratulate you. Can we clear the way there? Protocol, can you help me to allow the Excellencies to come and congratulate His Excellency, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. After the heads of state and government, they will be followed by the heads of state and government representatives. There is a difference. Those who are representing heads of state and government who are not here, who have been sent, they will follow after the presidents have done that. In the meantime, you that would want to sing, pick it up.
Yeah. Lungu ya fintu na sana pamoja.
Oh victory, victory, yeah, yeah.
Those are the heads of state and governments. They will be followed by representatives of heads of state and government, followed by foreign dignitaries. Foreign dignitaries. Toteniko, as we see the exchange of greetings and congratulations. Manja, 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 iwe.
Otitaka vipi vila wewe Malungu Akatunga chain Akatantika skanga chopeke Ili mozebe ukaiwe Nachalo vikame
After a minute,
Akatantika skanga chopeke
after the foreign dignitaries, locally we shall begin with His Excellency Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda, the first President of the Republic of Zambia, who will be followed by His Excellency Mr. Rupia Bwezanbanda, the fourth Republican President, in that order.
Katuka chain, akakantinga skanga chopeke. Ili mozebe mipauka iwe, bachalo vingameteke. Wakakana neo, akakantinga skanga chopeke. In this life, my friend, every little thing vingameteke.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Are you ready? Zambia, yeah.
Iwe cheke, Iwe. Tell him to get back there. He's not supposed to be dancing in my parade. Lungu, get back there. Where are the provost? The parade is sacred.
Zambia Kolopa. Lungu Kolopa.
Can you stop your music first of all?
Yo.
Stop your music. They will be followed by, after Dr. Kaunda, I can see that we are still dealing with foreign dignitaries. May I remind the provost that there is a parade there. Unless you are not in uniform, you don't allow people to dance in front of the parade. That is the last warning to every provost. Are we still with foreign dignitaries or we proceed? If the foreign dignitaries are finished, may I request His Excellency, the first Republican President, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, followed by the fourth Republican President, Mr. Rupia Bwezanbanda.
Right, so
okay, you can
what
pick up
is-
your music, but don't come and start dancing in front of my parade.
What is happening
I will
now
hammer
is
you,
that,
very sadly. Yay!
the first Republican president, Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda, is coming forward to congratulate His Excellency President Edgar Lungu, who has today taken over the mantle to lead Zambia as a country. And speaking about His Excellency President Edgar Lungu, in his acceptance speech, Jason, he raised some very pertinent issues. President Lungu has made numerous pledges to be able to drive the country forward. He has acknowledged the fact that Zambia does still continue to face challenges in the area of health, in the area of education, the growth of the economy, and he has pledged that he will get to work immediately in order to address some of these issues.
Well, I would definitely be able to just quote. He says, no honeymoon, for him and his team that he's likely to assemble tomorrow. We did hear that, obviously, the first appointment in this case is the Justice Minister, Ngosa Simbyakula, who's been given a task to ensure that the new constitution is put in place, obviously following the roadmap, which already has been, unveiled. That's a key, issue to look out for. And he's made it clear that he wants to have, a new constitution, in place. And also, having also made it clear that he will announce, a new cabinet tomorrow. There will be a presser at 9 hours in which some ministers will be appointed, some, people will be appointed, others reappointed. So it will be very interesting to have a look at which people will be reappointed, which people will still remain, serving in as far as his cabinet is concerned. But yes, we can safely confirm that the new Justice Minister for the Republic of Zambia is, Dr. Ngosa Simbyakula, and obviously also he did put up a very key, point when it comes to defense, forces, that he will double, the houses for the defense forces. Obviously, this is a project that is already ongoing, but he's looking forward to double that, in his tenure. And he also says he will do more in as far as health, the health sector is concerned. He says that he will continue with the project of 650 health posts across the country. So that's a mission that he's on. To improve, health in the country. That's something that he has, something that has been a key, in the late President Michael Sarte's, cabinet. And so those are some of the key issues to look out for. But also, he did talk about taxes, and those were some key issues as we also continue to have a look at the service chiefs there passing their congratulatory messages, especially because they don't have to say anything. All you have to do is salute and walk back. So that's really colorful. Yeah. So I was saying that he did talk about taxes. He says that there is need to have the right taxes and companies to pay the right taxes, and that you rather take the route of dialogue to ensure that taxes are respected in Zambia.
Right, that is his Secretary General, Mr. Davis Chama, also coming forward to congratulate His Excellency President Edgar Lungu on his swearing in as President of the Republic of Zambia. And also in his acceptance speech, President Edgar Lungu did also pay glowing tribute to his wife, the First Lady, Mrs. Esther Lungu, for standing by him throughout the entire period. He did confess it was, a difficult journey, and did take a lot of time away from his home, and so he really did honor his wife. And that is Mr. Patrick Matubini, Speaker of the National Assembly, stepping forward to congratulate His Excellency the President,
Honorable Cabinet Ministers, can you move forward?
Including his deputy, Mr. Mukondo Lungu.
Well, so congratulatory messages from, government officials do continue to, pour in front of the Republican President, that's His Excellency Edgar Lungu. And one of the key points that I did pick out as well as the line continues. So we could say that's the Ngosa Simbiakola. The only person so far in government, you could say, because I caught, that's what His Excellency did say, that there are two of us in government, me and, Ngosa Simbiakola, who's the Justice Minister. Now, that's the young lady. We did, talk about her earlier, Chitalo, that she's been instrumental in as far as unity and also the picking up of pieces by the Patriotic Front. And there you are. All these people are the people that are saved and are active members of the Patriotic Front. Jean Kapata was also a member of Parliament, and things do continue running down in that order. So they will continue with those messages, and that's Chishimba Kambwili, who is currently holding the post of Sports Minister. So we'll look forward to see what will happen tomorrow. But very excited it is that victory has still remains in there. So that's the Dr. Kasonde there, just also passing the message. And you could see that the Foreign Affairs Minister, Harry Kalaba, is just standing next to the President. And we will wait to note whether he will still remain Foreign Affairs Minister. But as it is at the moment, we'll assume that they are still holding on to their positions until when that presser comes out tomorrow to confirm whether they will still be holding those positions. So it will be interesting, to see what the presser will hold for the Zambians tomorrow regarding the cabinets that will be put in place. That's Professor Nkandeluo. All those are cabinet ministers during the reign of the late President Michael Sata, and also they continued to serve under the acting president then, Dr. Guy Scott, who's now the vice president, and that should be the education minister then. So you can see that finally he's meeting his family in the Patriotic Front and others that are serving other parties.
It's very it's a pleasure to see that he's in high spirits now. When he did come in, he was more on the composed side. His Excellency the President, perhaps a little bit nervous, considering what he had ahead of him. But now, clearly, his nerves have settled down, and he's able to interact very easily. You can see him with a big smile, and exchanging some interesting words with members of his party. That is Miles Sampa, Member of Parliament for Matero.
We are still dealing with the Central Committee members and cabinet ministers.
So those messages, that will continue to look at those. But obviously, as we just have a look at those, messages of congratulations being passed on to His Excellency the President, he did pronounce some key issues when it comes to agriculture. He noted to the fact that there were some late payments to farmers, and he says he feels for them, and that he will do everything possible to ensure that agriculture, does take the center role in as far as the development of the country is concerned. stating that he will not only leave it to the mining industry to be the mainstream that will determine how the kwacha will perform against other foreign convertibles, but he will try and diversify the economy by seeing to it that the agriculture sector, tourism sector, the manufacturing sectors all do contribute to the development of the country. At the same time, all these the sectors or industries should have a say on how the kwacha will have to fare against other foreign convertibles. So that's a key note to note out in his inaugural speech.
Indeed, he also did acknowledge the fact that he will work hard to ensure that he does reduce poverty. He said that in no uncertain terms that the fact that Zambia is hit or struck by considerable levels of poverty, that it doesn't settle him. And so now that he is in this key position, the top man of the land, he will ensure that reducing poverty will be among his immediate issues that he will be addressing. More jobs is also an issue that he did bring out. He did state the fact that he will ensure that he creates jobs for the general citizenry in Zambia, and that what he wants to see is a developed Zambia, a Zambia where people will be happy. He also wants to see that, the people that came out in numbers to make sure that he does rise to the top job in this country also do get a fair share of goodness in return. So those are some of the issues that came out in his inaugural speech, the President's inaugural speech here at the National Hero Stadium, where His Excellency President Edgar Lungu was being sworn in as the Republican President of Zambia. He also did take time, Jason, to thank every single person that contributed to a successful campaign, and also contributed to ensuring that he does end up where he is today, this morning, being sworn in as a President of the Republic of Zambia. He did acknowledge that he could not have done it alone. It called for efforts, so he thanked the PF party, he thanked the cadres, he thanked absolutely everybody for their invaluable support. And he did mention that it does not end here. He still needs them, because, without them, he will not be able to face what lies ahead of him.
Well, picking on that point, he did mention, that he needs literally everybody around him, because he needs those that will criticize him, he needs those that will support him. He did also make mention that when they criticize, he actually gets more courage to work harder. And he says without criticism, this could have not been possible for him. And he looks forward to have such kind of an environment where people will conduct checks and balances, for him to deliver, a Zambia that will have a sound economy, a Zambia that will have, very much developed in as far as infrastructure is concerned. Remember that he did pronounce also that he's going to continue with the road development program around the country. So he says he needs literally the help of everybody else to achieve and attain a good road network, which he says is very key to national development. So he literally needs everybody around to keep those checks and balances for him to keep going and be able to attain the level of development, the level of economic growth that Zambia needs to be, especially that is now, the country is now 50 years old. So there is need to show that there is some really work and progress that is being done. But also, talking of earlier on, we did see the foreign heads of states and representatives just coming to pass the message of congratulations there. He did mention issues to do with investment, that he will try by all means to create an enabling environment on which investors will thrive, on which investors will contribute, on which investors will come and set up their businesses. But also, he says there is need for investors also observe the law and ensure that they work in a manner that also creates a level playing field, for local investors, for the locals to be a part of the development process, to be part of, seeing a better Zambia, for the next generation. So he pledges to create a safe environment for investors, an environment which will guarantee that the investment in the country is safe, it will flourish, but at the same time respect the locals and be able to create a level playing field for them.
Right, so what you are seeing are pictures of His Excellency President Edgar Lungu going around to shake hands with invited guests to this occasion. And I must say, it is a spirit of goodness, really. That he's actually able to step down and go into the crowd and be able to interact with people around him. I think it actually says a lot about his persona and also perhaps also how he is likely. How he is likely to run this country. I think you cannot be able to succeed in isolation, and so the fact that he appears to be extremely open-minded and all-embracing, I think it's a good move, and it could actually work out in his favor. Of course, he has pledged, very categorically that he wants to ensure that Zambia moves to another level of development, another level where the people of Zambia can actually be able to enjoy the basic rights that they are entitled to as a country. And so the aspect of the road infrastructure he did mention, he will continue with that project, make sure he sees it to fruition. This is a project that was started by the late President Michael Chulufesata, and as President Lungu comes in, he has committed to ensuring that this project continues. And like we mentioned earlier, the issue of hospitals, that project is going on. It is very cardinal. He mentioned he knows that women in this country face problems with issues of delivery. They have serious challenges, and he wants to ensure that that comes to an end, particularly 50 years down the line. These are issues that a country should not be grappling with. Also schools, he mentioned the project of the schools. Make sure that this also comes to fruition, because obviously an educated country is a country that is able to develop by all means.
Well, yes, he did, sum up all those pointers and how interested he is to see to it that he does achieve all what he's put to paper, and as far as his roadmap is concerned for the country for the next, 18 months or so. And also, very cardinal to take note that shortly after the inaugural, address by His Excellency President Edgar Lungu, the chairperson for SADC, Robert Mugabe, also stepped to the podium to thank, all the 11 candidates that took part in the January 20 election, for really being there to ensure that the democratic process is, observed. And the fact that after an election, a result was announced, they have accepted the status quo, He thanked them for ensuring that Zambia does continue, to be a beacon of peace in Southern Africa, and he was very hopeful also in his address that Zambia will continue to reflect and shed off that peace to the neighboring countries, and he also says that he would like to see, more of economic development being scored by the Zambian government, especially that His Excellency Edgar Lungu had just taken over, and that he's hoping that being a Jubilee president, there's much more to offer to the Zambian people.
That's right, and also talking about commitments made by His Excellency President Edgar Lungu. I think one cardinal one, Jason, is that His Excellency did commit to ensure that he will deliver the Constitution. He will deliver a people-driven Constitution, and I think this is something that everybody had been expecting to hear. This has been an issue for quite a long time, and the President did commit in his acceptance speech, in his inaugural speech, that a people-driven Constitution will be delivered to the people of Zambia. So that is something that people will look out for, and the fact that he has made that pledge, definitely it is something that shall come to pass.
So there you have it. There's still a lot of entertainment that is taking place in the Heroes Stadium in Lusaka, where the inaugural ceremony for His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia, Edgar Lungu, did take place. As you can see, those are some of the VIP attendees. The Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, first Republican President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, all in attendance, and they have already had their message of congratulations to His Excellency Edgar Lungu, who is now Zambia's 60th Republican President. So there is a lot of hope in the ruling party in as far as continuation on the many developmental projects that the country has continued to post, and it's safe to say that the transition period is over, because it's been a long 90 days of campaigning, long 90 weeks as far as as far as the elections results were concerned, and finally it was closed yesterday, and the inauguration ceremony has finally taken place. It must be of relief to the many officers both in uniform, in civil service, that had to ensure that this electoral process is observed in order, in an orderly manner, through to this very time now. So it's been very tough, for the country, and finally it's over. The electoral process in which the Zambian people have finally voted into office His Excellency Edgar Lungu as Zambia's 60th president. So we still have His Excellency the President just taking time to move around, say hi to a lot of people, and just to ensure that he feels satisfied as far as meeting a lot of those people that were behind the scenes, campaigning, for his party, and to ensure that such kind of a day does come to life. So that's His Excellency there, meeting different people, all in the VIP area, and it's all congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I'm sure millions of Zambians, those watching back home, they must be wondering, what is the vision that His Excellency President Edgar Lungu has for this country? In case you are such a person that is wondering out there among the millions that are watching back home, what vision does he have for his country? In case you joined us late, He pointed out very key, factors that he will continue to ponder on as Zambia continues to seek economic independence, economic development. He did mention that he will have to ensure that the right taxes are put in place and ensure that companies are complying with those taxes. He will also try by all means to engage companies in dialogue to arrive at the right taxes. He hopes to double the number of houses for the defense forces. That's the Zambia Police, the Zambia Air Force, the Zambia National Service, the Zambia Army. So he hopes to continue that path to double the housing projects. He also wants to continue with the road developmental projects that were initiated by the late President Michael Chilufya Sata. He wants to continue that area and ensure that Zambia is road linked to have access to so many places of this country. He wants to ensure that he improves that is in the health area. He wants to continue to put up health posts. He's put up a 650 figure that he wants to continue in that area, ensure that he does achieve that. On the Constitution, which obviously a lot of Zambians out there were eager to hear what he will say, he did with immediate effect, whilst addressing the crowd here, announce or appoint Dr. Ngosa Simbiakula as the new Justice Minister of the Republic of Zambia, and was straight away given a task to ensure that the new constitution is delivered to the Zambian people with the right roadmap, with the available roadmap. So that's a task to the new Justice Minister, Dr. Ngosa Simbiakula. He also pronounces that he wishes to create a safe investment for the foreign investors, as well as encourage local businesses to take part in the investment process and ensure that a very balanced and fair environment is created for both foreign and local investors to thrive. He also hopes to continue in the path of diversification. He wants to see more being done in the agriculture sector, the tourism, the manufacturing sector. That's what he hopes to see. So if you are that Zambian watching on telly right now and you're wondering what's the roadmap that he wants to take, well, that is what he says he will do for the Republic of Zambia as he continues to thank each and every person that helped during the campaigns.
Indeed, a true man of the people is what is being exhibited here as His Excellency President Edgar Lungu continues to interact with people that are present here at his inauguration. Crowds, multitudes of people made their way here to the National Hero Stadium to be part of the history that has been recorded here as Zambia has ushered in the 6th Republican President. His Excellency there shaking hands with the former First Ladies, that is Madam Vera Chiluba, Dr. Christine Kasewa, and I also did see Madam Regina Chiluba there as well. So there he is, the President interacting. There must be a toddler somewhere down there. And obviously His Excellency trying to engage the child. The popular Mexican wave in honor and acceptance of His Excellency, Jason.
Well, I must say that, this stadium sits over 50,000 people, and seeing a Mexican wave at an inauguration ceremony is quite not a very popular thing. We see that often, when there's a football match. But it's good to see that taking place, and I think it means a lot to the Republican president, and those are ECZ officials there.
That's right, ECZ officials. Madam Priscilla Isaacs also exhibited some sternness during this period of the vote count, and Justice Irene Mambilema She has earned herself a title of being an Iron Lady. By the way that, she handled this very difficult moment throughout the vote counting period from the 20th of January until last night when the official announcement and declaration was made. It was very difficult for the Commission as well. They had numerous challenges that they had to grapple with, coupled, with human expressions and human attitudes also. So it was very difficult, but it has finally come to pass, and I guess they'll be able to find some time to rest.
Yeah, when you talk about that, obviously it's the very first time that Zambia had an election in the rainy season. It's a very challenging period, for the Electoral Commission of Zambia and all the supporting stakeholders in the electoral process, because it becomes very difficult for you to move either by road or by air because of the weather conditions, and that was the major challenge that the Electoral Commission of Zambia did first in this election. And also the weather pattern had an impact in as far as how the percentage turnout of voters that did trek to the various polling stations to exercise their right of voting. So that had an impact on the numbers, as is seen on the percentage turnout of the number of people that turned out to cast their votes. And I'm sure that it is a learning curve for the Electoral Commission of Zambia and the Zambian people at large to at times just get to prepare for such moments.
Going to be moving out shortly.
So from the look of things here, Chitalu, any minute from now we could have departures. Any minute from now, it is likely that departures will be,
Can we be up to standing for
taking
the
place,
prayer?
obviously in that order. And the masters of ceremony for this particular event signaling that there is a closing prayer that is scheduled to take place, and thereafter we could have the national anthem and then departure of service chiefs and everything in that order.
Our 16th Republican President, His Excellency Mr. Edgar.
So it will be His Excellency Edgar Lungu to leave the arena first, and then obviously the national anthem, departure of service, heads of states and so forth in that order.
Upon the cabinet and the nation at large. We also pray for God's traveling mercies upon all our distinguished guests as they travel back to their respective countries. Now may the peace of God, which surpasses all human understanding, guide our hearts and our minds in Christ Jesus. And may the blessings of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be with us all. Amen. I shall now request His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Mr. Edgar Lungu, to take the saluting dais for the national anthem and his eventual departure.
So we await the Republican President, His Excellency Edgar Lungu, to move to the dais for the national anthem. He is expected to leave, and that will also signal the end of activities here at the Heroes National Stadium in Lusaka, where the inauguration ceremony.
I'm standing for the national anthem.
For the 60th Republican President, and the national anthem.
Zambia police, military police, please pave way for the motorcade, remove all the people that are in the way of the presidential motorcade. And all the people who are in the terraces,
that marks the end of this inauguration ceremony here at the National Hero Stadium. What we're seeing now is the full presidential motorcade for the President, His Excellency President Edgar Chagwa Lungu will now take his full position as President of the Republic of Zambia, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. His speech, work begins immediately.
Well, there is no honeymoon according to his words, and work begins immediately, and that's the presidential vehicle there. Earlier on, remember that he did come in a different car, but now he will live in that presidential motorcade. And all the presidential standard begins now, and he is Zambia's 60th Republican president. In a blink of an eye, life changes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Waiting for the departure of His Excellency President. Everybody is eager to, catch a glimpse of him actually taking up his newly appointed position, and also stepping into his now presidential motorcade.
Wow, I did say that in a blink of an eye, twinkle of a star, life changes, and this is the new life that he will lead now, a life of him being responsible to over 13 million Zambians, to decide the fate of this country, and as far as development is concerned, he did also accept and allude to the fact that there is a fraction of this population that is still in abject poverty, that he will need to fight for, ensure that life does change for them, change the status quo, and also improve the living standards of the many people, not only along the line of rail, but outside. Very, very normal task that he has ahead of him. So that's the presidential car and the entire motorcade ready to take off. And the First Lady is already in there as well.
Well, that marks the end of the official program here at the National Hero Stadium. His Excellency the President Edgar Lungu has taken leave, and what we're seeing now is the departure of other invited guests. We expect that the service chiefs will be departing soon, and followed by the foreign head and state representatives and dignitaries, as well as the former presidents and the former acting president, Dr. Guy Scott.
Second Vice President of the Republic of Tanzania to stand first. To start roaring in as the motorcade for His Excellency Mr. Robert Mugabe, President of Zimbabwe, departs.
So there you have it, Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe leaving the Heroes Stadium, and well, departures will follow in that order. But obviously, for broadcast, we should be wrapping up. We're wrapping up, as far as the proceedings are concerned here. It's been a very peaceful and orderly, inauguration ceremony, and it's been awesome.
Absolutely. So we end here. We'd like to thank all our esteemed viewers for watching, and we'd also like to say on behalf of the entire outside broadcasting team here at the National Hero Stadium, we'd like to thank you so much for your time, and as His Excellency President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, all the very best. Thank you so much for watching from the Hero Stadium. Bye-bye.